is it being received in Washington? I'm joined now by Congressman Tom Cole, a Republican from Oklahoma. Good morning, Congressman. You know and I know President Trump has been outspoken about wanting our allies to pay more towards NATO. But yesterday he was at the headquarters for a September 11th memorial. Do you believe it was the right time, the right venue to air that grievance?
Look, I think it's always the right time on that particular issue. And frankly, he's not saying anything different than Secretary Gates said in his farewell visit when he was Secretary of Defense during the Obama administration. In 1991 or 2, at the end of the Cold War, United States military represented about 50% of NATO's combat power, and the European countries represented the other 50%. Today, it's about 75-25. So while there's certainly some honorable exceptions, the British in particular, Poles who've met their commitments, other countries need to step up and do more. And otherwise, frankly, it will undermine long-term the commitment of the United States toward what's a very critical alliance and very important for our security as well as European security.
But if you compare that to the president who went in Saudi Arabia, said, I'm not here to lecture anyone, yet he took the opportunity when speaking in Brussels to do just that. And while speaking, he did not give specific commitment to Article 5 during that speech, which obviously is the collective security provision that has only been invoked once, but has said, you attack our ally, you attack us all. And while you may say, well, you're parsing details, if you are one of our allies, specifically in a country that borders Russia, hearing that from the president means a lot.
You know, I don't think so, honestly. I think we're making too much of it. When he thanked, as he should have, the European countries and NATO for exercising Article 5 on our behalf, I think that essentially was a commitment. And the fact that he was there and in dialogue with them, again, is another sign the American commitment is absolutely secure. So I don't think any of the NATO countries have any doubt about America's commitment at all. And we've backed it up over and over again. We have forces in the region. We operate from military bases there. But, you know, in turn, these are good friends and allies of the United States. They've been helpful to us. But in this area, some of them need to step up and do more, frankly, for themselves, not just for us, but on their own behalf.
All right, well, if we're making too much of that, are we making enough of the Republican stance to stand behind or with Greg Gianforte in Montana? You represent the party of family values. And for a newly elected congressman to have hit someone, whether they're a journalist or not, physically hit someone and then change his story within 24 hours, it seems like the type of behavior I reprimand and ground my children for. Should the Republican Party be taking a stronger, more aggressive stance against Greg's behavior?
Well, I think, well, first of all, the behavior is inexcusable, and it was quite rightly condemned. I condemned it myself. Other people did. I was pleased to see that the congressman followed the advice of the speaker and apologized publicly. I think that was the right thing to do. Tough thing to do it on television on a big night like that, and I'm proud that he did it. But I don't know him. I'm not in a position to judge him. So I look forward to an opportunity to get to know him a little bit better when he gets to Washington, D.C. But certainly an apology was appropriate, and frankly, there's still legal consequences to be worked out in Montana.
Well, when you spend time with him in Washington, you're going to have to tell him he's going to need to get used to reporters and those microphones.
Yes, he is. And he'll probably get a lot more of them because of that particular incident. Look, again, to his credit, he apologized. He regrets the incident, but it'll have consequences for him, certainly for a while, and people put him under extra scrutiny. So I'm sorry it happened. Don't defend it. Don't excuse it. But it's time to, again, apologize as he did, deal with the consequences, and then hopefully move on.
All right, Congressman, thanks so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.